had a very tough first round against a gentleman named Matt, and he played a very good game, and I want to congratulate him. He was a better player than me, and that's why he won. I'm not making any type of excuses for the Fast Four format. The altercation, it wasn't really an altercation, it was more of a discussion with that line umpire, which I will get to in a little bit. Or the fact that, every decision I've made up until this point was my own free will and mine alone. It's not anybody else's out there. It was all me. And that's a beautiful thing about tennis, specifically singles, is that everything you do that leads up to a match, it's either a win or a loss. There's no in between. And you can't blame the wind, you can't blame the weather, you can't blame the formatting or any type of other weird rules. It's a game, it's a sport that you volunteer to play in. So every responsibility that I've had in the past, again, 6 or so months has led up to this moment. And now whether or not I followed through on those responsibilities, such as diet and not drinking the night before, that's obviously, a little bit sarcastic, but it's mine and mine alone. No excuses. So the beautiful thing is, as I previously have said on this vlog, the top 2 placers in the bracket have a guaranteed berth, a guaranteed spot in the national tournament. Given that I did lose to Matt in my first round, which actually is the second round because I had a bye, I'm playing to get to the finals of the Constellation, or hopefully winning the Constellation. And my first match in the Constellation bracket is in about an hour and a half, so I gotta get going on this. So I still have a chance of making it to nationals because let's say I win the Constellation finals, which is obviously possible at this point in time. If one of the 2 people that placed above me, the winner or the finalist of the main draw, if they're not able to make it to nationals due to a scheduling conflict or whatever, the 3rd place person, the Constellation winner, would get asked first. And then if that can't happen, then the Constellation finalist would get the 2nd priority on that. And given that everything in 2020 was all kinds of jacked up because of the recent pandemic, there are going to be a lot of wildcards apparently from my contacts within the USTA. So the idea of me qualifying for nationals is definitely still above zero. It's just not in the way that I would have hoped. Obviously, just like anybody here, you want to guarantee something that you deeply care about. So now, unfortunately, I either have to hope for some sort of wild card or some sort of scheduling conflict to the people that either place in the first or second, meaning if the winner of the bracket or the finalist of the bracket for the main draw, in order for me to be guaranteed to be asked. But also, there's a chance of me having some sort of wild card into the national singles 4-5, 18 and over national championship, which is held in April. So I'll keep you updated on that. But obviously, given what I can control right now, I just have to focus on the very next match. And my next goal right now, for the time being, short-term wise, is winning the Constellation finals. So I'll keep you guys updated on that soon. As for the umpire, obviously I'm not arguing against him. I'm not attacking him, as I said in the video. I'll leave a link to that in this top left corner if you guys haven't seen the last set of my match against Matt, again, who's an amazing player, and I hope he wins it because he's a damn good player if you guys have seen the match. But it's one of those things where, yeah, was I being a little bit sarcastic and a bit of an asshole? Absolutely. But I just wanted to gauge the officials' tolerance for noise level. Obviously, as I said in the video, I wasn't at all swearing. I wasn't looking at my opponent when I was cheering, whether sarcastically or not. But he thought that I was being too loud on some of my cheers. I disagreed, and that's that. And I behaved right after we cleared what his interpretation of the rule is, because when it comes to rules and the enforcers of those rules, there are some subjectivity concerns. So in this case, he personally thought, as the official, he thought I was too loud on some of my cheers, which is perfectly fine. I just disagreed. But he is the official. That's what he's there to be trained for. Therefore, he has every right to call me out on it. And I also have the right to question about his interpretation of the rules, and we came to an agreement, obviously. So I do know that umpires and line judges in USTA or even high school tennis have a pretty tough job, but I believe I was respectful. And if you don't think I was respectful towards that official, please leave a comment down in the section below nicely about what I could have done better as a player to kind of gauge his interpretation of that specific USTA rule. So if you guys have any questions, please leave a comment down in the section below. I'd be more than happy to get to it and just keep moving on. Happy hitting.